Williams locked and loaded. Daniels to the moon. May and McCarthy have something to prove while Nix is in a pretty good spot. Initial rookie mini camps are out of the way, and I have updates on this year's top incoming quarterbacks. Stand by for this week's top 5 fantasy headlines. Headline number 1, it's official. Williams is QB1 in Chicago. There will be no manufactured quarterback competition for the Bears. As the team kicked off their rookie minicamp last Friday, head coach Matt Eberflus wasted no time in naming Caleb Williams as the team's starting quarterback. No conversation, the coach said. He's the starter. While Eberflus explained the Bears have several benchmarks they expect Williams to reach over the next few months ahead of training camp, the most significant obstacle has already been overcome. It's not a huge surprise. Tyson Bagent and Brett Ripien are the other options, but there's more to it than that. Every draft must have a generational talent. This year, Williams is that guy. He has the arm strength, accuracy, and mobility to set himself apart at the pro level. He enters the NFL with 120 touchdowns, 93 of them passes over 3 seasons of college play. Williams' creativity and improvisational skills allow him to extend plays in a manner that will challenge opposing coordinators. As NFL Network's Daniel Jeremiah put it, Williams has franchise-altering upside. That's great news for a team that desperately needs its upside altered. Better still, the Bears appear to have learned lessons from their handling of Justin Fields. A supporting cast with DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, DeAndre Swift, and fellow rookie Rome Odunze, the 9th pick overall, gives Williams plenty of playmaking talent to lean on. New offensive coordinator Shane Waldron, who comes from the Sean McVay coaching trees, will tailor a scheme to suit Williams' strengths and maximize that supporting cast. Although the Football Guys 2024 draft rankings, see link below, have him at quarterback 15, well outside quarterback 1 consideration for redraft purposes, Williams is still a quarterback 1 for dynasty investors. In fact, he's the top rookie on our dynasty rankings as quarterback 7. And if you're interested in taking a chance on possible upside as a quarterback 2 in redraft, we learned on Wednesday the Bears have the NFL's easiest schedule the first 10 weeks of the season. Headline number 2, Daniels bringing all the upside. The Commanders made it clear they were staking their future on Jaden Daniels when they selected him as the 2nd overall pick. So when will the future meet the present? Asked during a recent podcast appearance if he expects to be the team's week 1 starter, Daniels wisely said he's confident in his abilities while acknowledging the decision was not his to make. Still, as ProFootballTalk.com suggested, it's hard to imagine Marcus Mariota showing the Commanders enough to justify keeping Daniels on the bench. This is especially true when the newcomer's rise to the number 1 spot represents the start of what the current management hopes will be a new era of football in Washington. That doesn't mean Daniels is a finished product, but it's fair to believe the Commanders will let him sort all that out on the field. And when they do, well, Daniels threw 40 touchdown passes against just 4 interceptions at LSU in his 2023 Heisman Trophy winning season. He also rushed for 1,184 yards and another 10 touchdowns. That rushing ability sets him apart, and it's why he heads into training camp as quarterback 11 on the Football Guys redraft rankings. Yes, there are concerns about his slight frame. Daniels at 6'4", 210 pounds, doesn't back off contact. But the positives are obvious. And as USA Today's Doug Farrar contends, based on the 103 explosive plays the quarterback delivered last season, there isn't a book on how to stop Daniels. Our own Sigmund Bloom added to that when he said defensive coordinators do not want to prepare for a quarterback like him. Landing with the Commanders adds to the positive vibes. While incoming Washington play caller Cliff Kingsbury could have been a better head coach in Arizona, his offense maximized the talent of Kyler Murray, who delivered top 10 production in his first 2 seasons under Kingsbury, including a QB2 finish in his 2nd season in 2020. Last year, Anthony Richardson was a player I considered a reasonably priced fantasy lottery ticket with $1 million upside. With Richardson's price rising this year, Daniels, currently going late in round 8 or early in round 9, is now my favorite high upside option. If this is the kind of content you're after, you'll love the Football Guys Daily Update. The biggest stories in football, summarized, explained, and delivered straight to your inbox every single day. Sign up and check it out. It's totally free, and you can unsubscribe at any time. You'll find a link in the description below this video. And while you're there, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and comment. Headline number 3, May has a lot to prove before he gets a start. At 6'4", 223 pounds, Drake May has prototypical size, athleticism, and arm strength. He threw 62 touchdown passes over the past 2 seasons, but his accuracy has been an issue at times, and football guy Cecil Lammey made the case last week that even if May could start immediately, he'd be better served getting time to develop, and that seems to be coming. Patriots coach Jared Mayo has stated the rookie would not automatically be the day 1 starter. Instead, May will compete with Jacoby Brissett for the starting job during training camp. During the pre-draft process, the number 3 overall pick was criticized for inconsistent footwork in college. Improving his mechanics will be a focal point of the offseason work with offensive coordinator Alex Van Pelt. Mayo acknowledges that. He has a lot of work to do, the coach said of May on Saturday, but I have no doubt that he'll put the time in. Given all that, expecting Brissett to open the regular season under center is reasonable. As football guy Ryan Weiss reminded us, the last time Brissett got a chance to start in 2022, he was with the Browns. Over the 12 games he was on the field, Brissett was quarterback 15 in fantasy. That's serviceable. Now he reunites with then Cleveland coordinator Van Pelt in New England. So we expect Brissett to open the season under center. The question becomes, how long can he fend off May? In an ideal world, the rookie would be able to spend a season watching and learning from the sidelines, something that worked out well for guys like Patrick Mahomes and Jordan Love. That seems unlikely given the draft capital expended and the state of the Patriots franchise, but May should not be your pick at any point in redraft, and we have him ranked as quarterback 17 for dynasty startups. Headline number 4, McCarthy off to a solid start. J.J. McCarthy, who went 27-1 at Michigan, is coming off a national championship win in which he completed 10 of 18 passes for 140 yards and 0 touchdowns. And that's the issue in a microcosm. Despite his impressive win-loss record, the Wolverines primarily relied on their running game and defense to win. As a result, McCarthy had 27 career games with 15 or fewer completions. All that said, McCarthy has considerable experience working under center in pro-style passing schemes. By all accounts, he made it look easy during his first practice with the Vikings. CBS reported McCarthy was extremely accurate while showing the poise of a more experienced passer during the first day of rookie minicamp. Meanwhile, ESPN.com's Dan Graziano reports that head coach Kevin O'Connell will have a specific step-by-step plan for McCarthy's development, and if the rookie hits each benchmark, he'll open the season as a starter. If not, the Vikings are comfortable starting Sam Darnold. How comfortable? Well, O'Connell has done plenty with less. Look no further than last season when he cobbled together an offense that scored more than 20 points in 6 of the final 9 games, with Josh Dobbs, Jaron Hall, and Nick Mullins all getting turns as a starter. All that said, I'm expecting McCarthy to make it into the starting lineup sooner than May, as the newly minted Vikings quarterback 24 redraft ranking suggests. And if McCarthy makes it onto the field, well, there's something to be said for a supporting cast that includes Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, Aaron Jones, and perhaps TJ Hawkinson, all working under O'Connell's guidance. If not in the short term, then certainly in the long term. Headline number 5, Knicks might be boring, but the Broncos are here for it. According to head coach Sean Payton, Bo Nix, the 12th overall pick, showcased the right combination of patience and accuracy in Denver's minicamp sessions. Specifically, Payton appreciated the efficiency Nix worked with. The coach made it clear boring wasn't the right word, but it kind of sounds like an apt description. As NFL.com suggested, Denver might prefer the excitement of highlight reel throws once the season rolls around, but non-flashy and efficient operation in May seems to be just fine as Nix gains his footing. It's also what the Broncos expected of him. General manager George Payton said the club believes the 24-year-old Nix with 61 collegiate starts is more game ready than younger quarterbacks. In discussing the situation on the Audible last week, you'll find a link to that in the comments below. Lammy and Bloom argue that Nix will greatly benefit from working under Payton. In fact, Lammy contends the circumstances could result in Nix being the top performer among all the rookie quarterbacks. Whatever the case, Nix is competing with veterans Jarrett Stidham and Zach Wilson in what probably isn't much of a competition at all. That being the case, if I draft my quarterback 3 in Superflex leagues really late, Nix, currently our quarterback 28, has become my firewall quarterback based on what Lammy and Bloom see in the situation. I know you're wondering about Michael Penix Jr. in Atlanta. Well, Kirk Cousins is on track to start, but if you want a more complete understanding of what's going on there, check out my video from 2 weeks ago right here on the Audibles channel. You'll find a link in the comments below, and while you're there, subscribe to the Football Guys Fantasy Football and Dynasty Football channels to get the content you want from the people you trust. That's it for me, Bob Harris. You'll find me here most every Friday with more news, the resulting risers, fallers, and other fantasy fallout that matters to you, and also watch for my fantasy notebook every Monday morning at footballguys.com.